Every day, countless voices drown out your own, leaving you to wonder, what if you could break free from the shackles of expectation and finally embrace your true self? The journey to assertive confidence begins with the realization that your needs matter as much as anyone else's. In a world that often equates selflessness with virtue, it's easy to lose sight of who you are and what you truly desire. This book invites you to step boldly into your power, dismantling the invisible chains of people-pleasing and reclaiming your authority. Are you ready to conquer the internal battles that keep you from flourishing? Assertive Confidence, Overcome People-Pleasing and Honor Your Needs, written and published by Silent Validity. Lesson 1. Redefining Confidence, Trusting Your Inner Voice. At the core of our existence lies an unsettling truth. Many of us have surrendered our confidence to the opinions of others. This relinquishment creates a cycle of dependency on external validation, where self-worth is measured by applause rather than authenticity. The quest for approval serves as a beacon, guiding our every decision, often leading us away from our true desires and fostering a sense of internal discord. We ask ourselves, why do we seek the reassurance of others when our own voice is waiting to be heard? The psychological underpinnings of this tendency are deeply rooted in our formative experiences. From a young age, we are conditioned to attach value to external feedback, receiving praise or criticism that shapes our self-image. These experiences create a framework through which we gauge our worthiness, often leading to an overwhelming need for acceptance. The desire to please, while a natural inclination, morphs into a dependency that can distort our reality. As we navigate life, the echoes of validation become an ever-present background noise, drowning out our inner voice, which longs to express its true intentions. Consider the individual who meticulously curates a social media profile, striving for likes and comments like a currency of self-worth. Each notification becomes a brief surge of happiness, but this elation quickly dissipates, leaving an emptiness that can only be filled by more social validation. While this pursuit might seem harmless, it reflects a pervasive pattern of seeking worth from external sources, ultimately leading to dissatisfaction and anxiety. Many people find themselves endlessly scrolling, not for enjoyment, but to reclaim a fleeting sense of confidence, lost in the matrix of public perception. Another scenario unfolds in the workplace, where a talented employee hesitates to voice innovative ideas during meetings. Instead of allowing their creativity to flourish, they shrink back, fearing criticism or skepticism from colleagues. Despite possessing the knowledge and capability to contribute meaningfully, the underlying concern of receiving negative feedback stifles their potential. Here, the need for validation manifests as a barrier to personal growth, discouraging authentic expression and risk-taking. In our relationships, we may continuously seek reassurance from partners, friends, or family members. The conversation becomes a quest for affirmation, where questions like, "Do you love me?" or "Am I doing okay?" stem from deep-seated insecurities. The irony is that in our effort to be liked and accepted, we may unknowingly present a version of ourselves that isn't entirely authentic. The more we seek validation, the further we drift from our true essence, morphing into a reflection of what others desire instead of what we genuinely wish to embody. It is pivotal to recognize that seeking validation is not inherently negative. We are wired for connection and affirmation. However, the crucial distinction lies in the balance between external acknowledgement and internal conviction. Understanding the psychological and emotional roots of our need for validation allows us to reclaim our agency. By turning inward and trusting our inner voice, we can begin a transformative journey toward genuine confidence, rediscovering the self-worth that resides within. The path to true assertiveness does not negate the need for connection. Rather, it empowers us to establish relationships based on authenticity and integrity, firmly rooted in the understanding that our value is intrinsic and unshakable. To begin dismantling the patterns of seeking validation, it is essential to cultivate self-awareness. One effective strategy is to regularly check in with yourself throughout the day. Pause and ask, what is driving this action? Am I doing this for myself or to gain approval from others? Keeping a journal can be instrumental in this process. Write down your thoughts and feelings about situations where you sought validation. By identifying triggers, such as a desire for social acceptance at a gathering or anxiety before presenting an idea at work, you can gain clarity and start shifting your focus inward, allowing your authentic self to surface. The next mindset shift involves embracing the concept of self-acceptance. Psychological research underscores the importance of recognizing and honoring your intrinsic value, which does not hinge on others' opinions. Practice affirmations that reinforce this belief. For example, repeat to yourself, "My worth is inherent, and it is enough." Regularly engaging with positive self-talk can rewire your brain to internalize self-affirmation rather than seeking it externally. As your inner dialogue shifts, you will find that your desire for validation gradually diminishes. Real-world challenges can further enhance this journey. Consider setting aside a day when you consciously decide to act without seeking input or approval. This could mean voicing a controversial opinion in a discussion or making spontaneous choices, like ordering a different meal or altering your routine without the habitual quest for consensus. Observe your feelings during these experiences. Notice the discomfort that may arise. This is a natural reaction to stepping outside the familiar patterns. As you confront these feelings, reflect on how liberating it can be to make decisions aligned with your own values and preferences rather than those of others. An illustrative case study reveals the transformative power of this approach. A woman named Sarah found herself in a continuous loop of seeking approval at work, undermining her confidence and leading to anxiety. After embarking on a journey of self-discovery, she began practicing radical honesty with herself and others. By articulating her thoughts and asserting her ideas without filtering them through the lens of potential judgment, she started to experience a newfound sense of freedom, gradually rebuilding her self-confidence. Sarah's journey exemplifies that by reframing our perceptions and taking actionable steps, we can pave the way for a genuine expression of who we are. As we navigate this pivotal lesson, it is crucial to remember that the quest for external validation can be ingrained and challenging to break. Yet, by employing strategies to recognize these behaviors, embracing self-acceptance, and actively practicing authenticity, you can begin to reclaim your inner voice. The ability to stand firm in your beliefs and desires flourishes as you detach from the opinions of others, setting the stage for a powerful transformation. In the next lesson, we will delve into breaking free from the habit of people-pleasing and explore how you can assert your needs without guilt. Prepare to uncover the profound changes that await when you prioritize your true self over the approval of others. Reflect on your journey so far, and as we continue, ask yourself how this newfound awareness will shape your next steps. Remember to engage with the content, share your thoughts and experiences as we grow together on this transformative path. Lesson 2. Breaking free. Ending the need to please. Are you merely a performer in the theater of life, executing a script written by others? The relentless pursuit of approval can feel like an invisible chain, one that constrains your true self, while simultaneously masquerading as the path to happiness. Many individuals, trapped in the cycle of people-pleasing, underestimate the profound emotional toll it takes on their well-being. It is essential to understand the psychological roots of this behavior, to reclaim your autonomy and step into a life defined by your own choices. At its core, the need to please is an expression of innate human vulnerability. Rooted in our early experiences, this behavior often stems from a fear of rejection or abandonment. Children learn quickly that when they meet the expectations of caregivers or peers, they receive love or approval. Unfortunately, this conditioning can extend into adulthood, where the need for affirmation manifests as an incessant desire to accommodate others. The psychological toll of this behavior is significant. It breeds anxiety, self-doubt, and resentment, often leading individuals to neglect their own needs and desires. Consider the case of Jake, who constantly finds himself prioritizing others over himself. A dedicated employee, Jake often takes on additional responsibilities at work, sacrificing his time and energy to keep his colleagues content. Although he desires recognition for his hard work, the accolades are fleeting. Each time he bends to others' will, Jake feels a sense of internal conflict, as if he is a mere spectator in his own life. The more he caters to others, the more he realizes he has lost touch with his own passions and aspirations, an emotional cost that becomes increasingly difficult to ignore. Another common scenario unfolds in social settings, where individuals may mask their true feelings for the sake of harmony. Take the example of Maria, who often agrees to go out with friends even when she would prefer a quiet evening at home. Her inclination to please others stems from a pervasive fear of disappointing them. Yet, this compromises her mental health. Each time she sacrifices her own desire for acceptance, Maria ignites a silent battle within herself, growing more resentful and exhausted over time. The consistent need to please can create a facade of sociability while slowly eroding one's authenticity. The emotional implications of people-pleasing are profound, as individuals often feel as if they are stuck in a never-ending cycle of self-denial. The quest for external validation limits personal growth, stifles creativity, and generates an overwhelming sense of disconnect from one's true self. This pattern not only affects the individual, but can also create strained relationships, as those around them may perceive their acquiescence as a lack of boundaries or authenticity. Recognizing the emotional toll of people-pleasing is a crucial step toward breaking free from its grasp. It is vital to understand that while the desire to accommodate others can stem from genuine goodwill, it often leads to an unintentional neglect of our own needs. By shining a light on this hidden truth, you begin to dismantle the false narratives that bind you. Freedom lies in the realization that honoring your own needs is not selfish, but essential to cultivate authentic relationships and ultimately a fulfilling life. As we progress through this lesson, prepare to delve deeper into asserting your desires without guilt, laying the groundwork for a more intentional and empowered existence. To break free from the shackles of people-pleasing, the first step is recognizing the patterns in your behavior. Self-awareness is crucial. Start by observing moments throughout your day when you prioritize others' needs over your own. Do you often find yourself saying yes to requests even when you feel overwhelmed or dissatisfied? Keeping a daily journal can be an effective method for tracking these tendencies. Write down instances when you felt compelled to please someone, along with your emotional responses. Recognizing these situations allows you to identify triggers and patterns that may have gone unnoticed. In addition to awareness, a fundamental mindset shift is needed, understanding that your value is not contingent on others' approval. Psychological research emphasizes the importance of self-compassion as a remedy for the anxiety stemming from the need to please. By practicing self-compassion, you grant yourself the same kindness and understanding that you often extend to others. This perspective shift is powerful. It encourages you to appreciate your inherent worth, establishing a solid foundation for asserting your needs naturally. Remind yourself that saying no or prioritizing your desires does not equate to rejection. Rather, it is a declaration of your rightful place in your own life. Implementing actionable strategies can further empower you on this journey. Begin by setting small boundaries in everyday situations. For instance, if you find yourself frequently agreeing to social gatherings when you would prefer solitude, practice declining invitations that don't align with your genuine interests. You might say, "Thank you for the invite, but I need some time to recharge." Each time you assert your preferences, even in minor situations, you reinforce your ability to put yourself first. As you gain confidence, you can extend these practices to larger commitments, gradually cultivating a stronger sense of agency in your own life. Real-life case studies illustrate the transformative impact of these strategies. Consider the experience of Laura, who for years felt she needed to maintain her friendships by constantly accommodating others' plans. After recognizing her behavior as self-neglect, she started to assert her desires. At first, she felt a pang of anxiety each time she declined an invitation or expressed her own interests. However, she quickly discovered that her relationships evolved positively. Friends appreciated her newfound authenticity, leading to more genuine connections. The realization that her worth was not intertwined with others' approval liberated Laura from the grips of people-pleasing, allowing her to engage in friendships from a healthier, more balanced perspective. The journey to break free from people-pleasing habits is not instantaneous. It requires patience and diligence. However, by developing self-awareness, fostering self-compassion, and practicing boundary setting, you can gradually dismantle the patterns that have held you captive. Remember, each time you prioritize your own needs, you not only strengthen your sense of self, but also contribute to more authentic relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. As we conclude this lesson, prepare to explore the next topic, learning how to say no guilt-free and stand firm in your choices. As you continue this journey, take a moment to reflect on your experiences with people-pleasing. Consider engaging with this content by sharing your thoughts or personal stories in the comments section. Your insights are valuable, and together we can foster a community that empowers each other to live authentically. Lesson 3. Owning your voice. Speak with authority. Imagine standing on the precipice of your own power, yet hesitating to leap because others' opinions tether you to the ground. The journey towards asserting your voice begins with acknowledging a startling reality. Many of us have been silenced by the fear of how others perceive us. This landscape of uncertainty breeds a compelling need for validation, propelling us into a cycle where our self-expression is dictated by external acceptance rather than internal truth. It is imperative to explore the psychological and emotional foundations of this behavior, to uncover the authentic authority that resides within each of us. At the heart of seeking validation lies a profound fear of judgment. Humans are inherently social creatures. Our survival has often depended on our ability to fit into the community. As children, we learn that our thoughts and feelings may be dismissed, prompting us to modify our expressions to gain acceptance. This pattern, while rooted in survival instincts, can lead to a crippling reliance on others' opinions as the measure of our worth. When our self-esteem is inextricably tied to external feedback, the authentic expression of our thoughts becomes overshadowed by the anxiety of potential criticism. Consider the case of Daniel, an aspiring artist who constantly refrained from sharing his work due to fear of negative responses. Despite having a unique vision and creative talent, the loud voices of perceived critics drowned out his confidence, keeping him from expressing his artistic voice. Each day spent in silence heightened his internal conflict, leading to frustration and disillusionment. The pressing need for external validation prevented him from taking the necessary steps to showcase his art, entangling him in a web of self-doubt. Another common scenario arises in professional settings, where individuals often suppress their ideas during meetings, hesitant to share what they genuinely think. Emily, a talented project manager, frequently held back her innovative ideas because she felt overshadowed by her more vocal colleagues. As a result, she experienced a growing sense of disenchantment and helplessness, stifled by the belief that her contributions were unworthy of consideration. In her mind, the validation of her peers assumed a position of paramount importance, while her inner voice languished in silence, yearning to be heard. The emotional consequences of relinquishing our voice are profound and far-reaching. The more we suppress our true thoughts and feelings in the quest for approval, the further we drift from our authentic selves. We may experience feelings of resentment, anxiety, and even depression as our inner desires battle with the facade we project to the world. This struggle for validation can create a cycle of disempowerment that stunts personal growth and hinders authentic connection with others. Recognizing the hidden truth behind your desire for validation is the first crucial step towards finding your voice. The path to empowerment begins by understanding that each person's voice holds intrinsic value, independent of external applause. To reclaim your authority, one must confront the fears that hold you hostage and challenge the beliefs that have silenced you, opening the door for self-expression and authenticity to flourish. This lesson sets the stage for a transformative journey toward owning your voice and speaking with authority. As we explore the tools and techniques in the upcoming sections, take some time to reflect on your own experiences in finding and asserting your voice. Prepare to engage in exercises designed to empower you to articulate your thoughts fearlessly. Embrace this opportunity to uncover the latent power within you, allowing it to guide you on a path toward authentic self-expression. To reclaim the power of your voice, The first essential strategy involves cultivating awareness of the moments when you hesitate to express your thoughts. Begin by keeping a simple assertion journal. Whenever you find yourself stifled by fear or doubt, jot down the context of the situation, what held you back, and how it made you feel. This practice helps build self-awareness and identifies the patterns that sabotage your expression. The act of documenting your experiences allows you to see the frequency of these occurrences, ultimately providing insights into your behavior that may have eluded you before. Mindset shifts play a pivotal role in this transformative journey. One crucial perspective to adopt is the understanding that every voice matters, including yours. Psychological research highlights the phenomenon known as the illusion of transparency, where individuals believe their thoughts and feelings are more apparent to others than they actually are. This can lead to overestimating the judgment of peers while underestimating their desire to connect with your authentic expression. Remind yourself that sharing your thoughts may not provoke the critical response you anticipate. Instead, your perspective could enrich the conversation and foster deeper connections. Embrace the belief that your unique insights add value and that your contributions deserve to be heard. Actionable exercises can guide you in asserting your voice in real-world situations. Start with small steps by establishing a goal to speak up in at least one conversation each day. Whether it's in a meeting, a social gathering, or even a casual chat, aim to express an opinion or share a thought confidently. You might choose to begin with topics you feel passionate about or areas where you possess expertise. Gradually, you'll build the habit of vocalizing your thoughts without second-guessing yourself. Once you find comfort in sharing your ideas, challenge yourself to engage in discussions where you feel at greater risk of judgment. Approach these situations as opportunities to grow and strengthen your voice, rather than platforms for scrutiny. Real-life examples can shed light on the transformative nature of reclaiming your voice. Consider the journey of Mark, a software engineer who long felt silence during team discussions. After implementing practices to assert his thoughts, he experienced a pivotal moment during a critical project meeting. Mark decided to share a unique solution he had devised, despite fearing pushback. To his surprise, his colleagues embraced his idea, and it ultimately became integral to the project's success. This experience not only elevated Mark's confidence, but also reinforced the notion that his voice could contribute meaningfully to the team's objectives. His story exemplifies that when one dares to speak out, the results can positively impact not just oneself, but also those around them. As we conclude this lesson, prepare to delve into the next pivotal topic: setting boundaries to protect your space and energy. By learning to honor both your needs and the needs of others, you will further empower your voice in meaningful ways. Reflect on your takeaways from today's exploration and consider sharing your experiences in the comments section. Your insights can inspire others on similar journeys, fostering a community where every voice is valued and heard. Engage with this content. Like, share your thoughts, or suggest topics you would like us to cover in future lessons. Together, let's continue to build a foundation for authentic self-expression. Lesson 4. Setting boundaries. Protecting your space and energy. In a world saturated with demands and expectations, the ability to set boundaries emerges as an essential act of self-preservation. Imagine standing in a room full of people, each speaking over one another, and yet you remain unheard, simply trying to navigate the chaos. The psychological and emotional toll of neglecting your boundaries can lead to overwhelming feelings of resentment, anxiety, and exhaustion. Understanding boundaries is not merely about saying no. It signifies honoring your needs while establishing a framework for healthier relationships with yourself and others. At the core of boundary setting lies the emotional need for respect and personal space. Many people, conditioned by societal pressures or tumultuous past experiences, struggle to assert their limits, fearing rejection or conflict. This aversion to confrontation stems from an attachment to approval, cultivating an unhealthy pattern of people-pleasing. As individuals prioritize the desires of others over their own well-being, they inadvertently drain their energy, leading to feelings of inadequacy and frustration. The intricate dance between maintaining relationships and losing oneself becomes a precarious tightrope, affecting not only mental health, but also overall happiness. Consider the common scenario of Jessica, who routinely finds herself overwhelmed with obligations. Her friends and family automatically assume she will take charge of organizing events, helping with projects, or solving their problems. Burdened by these unspoken expectations, Jessica smiles and complies, believing it is her duty to be available at all times. However, this cycle of compliance chips away at her sense of self and well-being. The emotional fallout from continually overextending herself leaves her feeling drained and dissatisfied, yet she hesitates to voice her discomfort, fearing that she might be seen as selfish. Another example illustrates the endurance that often accompanies neglecting boundaries. Michael, a committed employee, frequently works evenings, evenings, and weekends to meet demands, convinced that his hard work will earn him recognition and advancement. However, this dedication comes at the cost of his personal life and well-being. As his work increasingly bleeds into his private time, he begins to feel resentment towards his job. His reluctance to set clear boundaries ultimately impacts his performance, leading to burnout and a diminished sense of achievement. Michael's experience underscores the insidious nature of unexamined expectations. He has allowed the demands around him to dictate his time and energy. Recognizing the importance of setting boundaries requires a keen understanding of the detrimental effects of neglecting them. When individuals ignore their own limits, they may experience heightened stress levels, feelings of inadequacy, and a pervasive sense of being taken for granted. These unhealthy dynamics can erode self-esteem, warp perceptions of worth, and create an environment where resentment becomes a lingering presence. Understanding that boundaries serve not only to protect one's energy, but also to foster healthier relationships, is vital for personal growth. This lesson illuminates the path to reclaiming your personal space and energy. As we progress, we will explore practical strategies to establish and communicate boundaries effectively, empowering you to create an environment that values your needs as much as the needs of others. The journey towards healthy boundaries begins with recognizing the freedom that comes from defining your limits. Prepare to take steps toward a more balanced existence where your needs are honored and your relationships flourish on mutual respect. To successfully set and maintain boundaries, the first strategy involves developing a heightened sense of self-awareness. Begin by identifying situations where you feel discomfort, overwhelm, or resentment. Keeping a boundary journal can serve as a valuable tool. Record specific instances when you feel your boundaries are being tested or overstepped. Note your thoughts and emotions during these moments. This practice will enable you to recognize patterns in which your boundaries may have been neglected, allowing you to pinpoint the areas where assertiveness is needed. Awareness is the first step toward regaining control over your personal space and energy. Moreover, adopting a new mindset is essential in breaking free from the inclination to please others at your own expense. Shift your perspective to see boundaries as a form of self-respect rather than selfishness. Research in psychology emphasizes that healthy boundaries promote not only individual well-being, but also healthier relationships. When you communicate your limits clearly and consistently, you cultivate an environment that fosters mutual respect. Remember that boundaries do not just benefit you, they also empower others to understand how they can relate to you more effectively. This shift in perception can fundamentally alter how you engage with those around you. Equipped with newfound awareness and mindset shifts, action-oriented exercises can facilitate the practical implementation of boundaries in your life. Start small by implementing the 30-second rule. When confronted with a request that doesn't align with your needs, pause for 30 seconds before responding. Use this time to assess your feelings about the request. This can prevent impulsive compliance and allow for more thoughtful, deliberate responses. For instance, if asked to take on an additional project at work instead of immediately agreeing, take that brief moment to consider whether you genuinely have the capacity for it. This practice leads to clearer communication of your limits. Real-life case studies emphasize the significance of effective boundary setting. Consider Sarah, a compassionate nurse who often found herself overwhelmed due to her propensity to say yes to additional shifts and responsibilities. After recognizing her mental fatigue, she began implementing the boundary journaling technique. Through her reflections, Sarah identified that most of her stress stemmed from fear of disappointing colleagues. By gradually applying the 30-second rule, she learned to articulate her limits more effectively. Eventually, she felt empowered to decline extra shifts, which allowed her to reclaim her time and energy, leading to renewed passion for her work. Sarah's experience underscores the transformative power of setting boundaries, reinforcing the idea that prioritizing self-care does not diminish your commitment, but enhances it. As we conclude this lesson, prepare to explore the next topic: how to say no guilt-free and stand firm in your decisions. This upcoming discussion will provide you with the tools to uphold your boundaries confidently while respecting both yourself and others. Reflect on your own experiences with boundaries and consider how you can apply the strategies you've learned today. Engage with this content by sharing your thoughts or personal stories in the comments section. Your experiences can inspire others on their journeys, and together we can continue to foster a community that supports healthy self-advocacy. Lesson 5. Saying no, guilt-free, stand firm with ease. Imagine carrying a weight that grows heavier with each agreement you make. A burden born from the evident internal struggle of wanting to please others while neglecting your own needs. The ability to say no is essential in reclaiming your time and energy. Yet for many, this simple word becomes a source of anxiety and guilt. The psychological mechanisms driving this behavior are often deeply rooted in our past experiences, and understanding them can unveil the hidden truth about the power of assertiveness. The need to please is often entwined with a fear of rejection. From a young age, we receive subtle messages that prioritize harmony and approval over our personal desires. This conditioning creates a sense of obligation to comply with the requests of others, reinforcing the idea that our worth is contingent upon our ability to keep others happy. Psychological studies highlight that individuals who struggle to say no typically experience heightened levels of anxiety, stemming from the fear of being perceived as selfish or unkind. This internal conflict may lead to an overwhelming sense of obligation, trapping individuals in a cycle of self-neglect. Real-life examples vividly illustrate this struggle. Consider the story of Emma, a dedicated employee who finds herself consistently taking on additional projects to accommodate her colleagues, even when her own workload is already overwhelming. Each time she hesitates to decline a request, she is left with a sense of dread and regret, knowing that she is sacrificing her well-being for the sake of someone else's convenience. Emma's experience amplifies the notion that saying yes may provide temporary relief and acceptance, yet it ultimately spirals into feelings of resentment and burnout. Over time, these cumulative feelings erode her enthusiasm and passion for her work. Another scenario unfolds in personal relationships, where individuals often feel pressured to maintain peace at all costs. Take the case of David, who frequently agrees to social invitations even when he would prefer a quiet evening at home. The guilt associated with declining invitations weighs heavily on him, producing an internal dialogue riddled with self-judgment. David strives to meet the expectations placed upon him, convinced that saying no would disappoint his friends and tarnish his image. This behavior not only compromises his sense of self, but also leads to an authentic disconnect within his relationships, as he becomes increasingly resentful of the very commitments he once accepted without question. The emotional ramifications of this struggle are profound. Each unspoken no reinforces the belief that our own needs are secondary. The longer we allow ourselves to be pulled in different directions, the more challenging it becomes to articulate our desires confidently. Research indicates that the ability to say no is closely tied to self-worth and personal agency. Therefore, reclaiming the right to decline is pivotal in nurturing a healthier relationship with oneself and fostering mutual respect in interpersonal dynamics. By recognizing these patterns and the emotional roots of people-pleasing, we pave the way for change. Understanding that saying no is not an act of selfishness, but rather a necessary step towards self-preservation is key. This lesson invites you to reflect on the hidden truths behind your hesitations and prepares you for the empowering journey of asserting your needs without guilt. As we move forward, we will explore practical strategies for asserting your boundaries and communicating your limits effectively, enabling you to stand firm with ease while preserving your peace of mind. To effectively break the cycle of guilt when it comes to saying no, the first strategy is to cultivate awareness around your feelings of obligation. Start by reflecting on situations where you feel compelled to please others despite your own discomfort. Keeping a thought journal can be invaluable in this process. Whenever you sense apprehension around saying no, jot down the request, your initial emotional response, and the potential consequences of both saying yes and no. Over time, this practice sharpens your ability to recognize patterns in your behavior, helping you identify triggers that provoke guilt or anxiety around asserting your needs. Adopting a new mindset surrounding the act of saying no plays a vital role in freeing you from guilt. Shift your perspective to understand that every time you decline a request, you are simultaneously affirming your right to prioritize your own well-being. Psychological research emphasizes that healthy boundaries lead to healthier relationships, both with yourself and others. Consider that by saying no, you create space for authenticity in your interactions. This perspective can help alleviate feelings of selfishness. After all, if you are not feeling your best, you will be less capable of contributing positively to the lives of others. Implementing actionable exercises can further reinforce the practice of saying no guilt-free. Begin with verbal affirmations that remind you of the importance of your own needs. For instance, adopt phrases such as, "It's okay for me to prioritize my time," or "Saying no is a way to respect my limits." Regularly reciting these affirmations can help reframe your mindset and instill confidence in your choices. Additionally, consider role-playing scenarios where you practice saying no with a supportive friend. This exercise can reduce anxiety and improve your ability to communicate assertively when the need arises in real life. Real-life case studies can illuminate the process of overcoming the guilt associated with saying no. Take the story of Alex, who worked as a community organizer. Initially overwhelmed by requests from colleagues and clients, Alex feared that declining any of these would damage his reputation. After engaging in the practices of reflective journaling and role-playing, he recognized that his inability to say no was leading to burnout. The turning point came when he decided to decline a commitment that conflicted with his personal goals. Surprisingly, this act of self-advocacy strengthened his credibility among colleagues and reaffirmed his values. Alex's experience underscores the significance of prioritizing one's own needs, revealing that healthy boundaries can foster respect from others. Understanding that saying no is a vital skill for maintaining balance in your life is crucial. By recognizing your patterns, shifting your mindset, and practicing assertiveness through exercises, you can actively dismantle the guilt attached to this essential act of self-defense. As we move forward, the next lesson will explore how to effectively communicate your boundaries while maintaining kindness and respect. This journey of asserting your needs is transformative and opens the door to deeper, more authentic relationships. Take a moment to reflect on your journey so far. Consider sharing your thoughts or experiences related to saying no in the comments. Your insights may encourage others embarking on similar paths, fostering a supportive community. Engage with this content. Like the video, share your perspectives, or suggest topics you would like us to delve into. Together, let's continue to empower each other on this journey towards assertive confidence. Lesson 6. Prioritizing yourself. Honor your needs first. In a society that often glorifies selflessness, the act of prioritizing oneself can feel like a radical notion. Yet, imagine a life where your own needs take center stage, a life where you advocate for yourself unapologetically. The reality is that many individuals feel compelled to place the needs of others above their own, often resulting in neglect and internal turmoil. Understanding the psychological and emotional roots of this behavior reveals a crucial truth. In order to thrive, you must learn to honor your own needs first. The tendency to prioritize others over ourselves is frequently rooted in early conditioning and societal expectations. From a young age, we are often celebrated for our ability to please and accommodate those around us. This early reinforcement creates an emotional blueprint that triggers a sense of duty and obligation to put others first. Psychologically, the fear of feeling selfish or unworthy can lead to an overwhelming compulsion to seek external validation at the expense of our own needs. Over time, this relentless cycle can trigger feelings of resentment, burnout, and a growing disconnect from one's true self. Consider the story of Lisa, a dedicated mother and professional who juggles the demands of family and work. For years, Lisa tirelessly strived to meet the expectations of her children and employer, often sacrificing her own physical and emotional well-being in the process. Each time she felt fatigued or overwhelmed, she pushed through, dismissing her needs as inconsequential. The internal dialogue would echo phrases like, "I can't take a break, everyone depends on me." This mentality led Lisa to a tipping point, where her exhaustion became so profound that she struggled to keep up with her responsibilities. Lisa's experience illustrates the insidious nature of neglecting oneself. The more she overlooked her needs, the more difficult it became to fulfill the demands of others. Another striking example can be found in the workplace, where individuals often feel pressure to prioritize their careers above all else, even at the expense of personal health. Take Matthew, an ambitious young professional who frequently works late nights to impress his boss. Instead of addressing his feelings of fatigue and stress, he champions the idea of being indispensable. However, the emotional toll of this sacrifice begins to manifest in physical symptoms. His health declines, and his enthusiasm for the job wanes. The irony is that by neglecting his own needs in the pursuit of professional success, Matthew inadvertently compromises the very career he seeks to elevate. The emotional ramifications of failing to prioritize oneself can be profound. As people consistently put their needs aside, they may experience chronic stress, anxiety, and a pervasive sense of unfulfillment. This emotional disconnect not only hampers personal growth, but can also saturate relationships with resentment and frustration. The truth is that when self-advocacy is absent, the pathway to authentic connections becomes obstructed, leaving individuals feeling hollow and disconnected from their true selves. Recognizing the hidden truth behind self-neglect paves the way for change. The journey to prioritizing oneself begins by acknowledging that your needs are just as important as anyone else's. Learning to honor those needs is a courageous act that lays the foundation for a more balanced and fulfilling life. In the upcoming part of this lesson, prepare to explore practical strategies for asserting your needs and shifting your mindset towards self-prioritization. Embrace this opportunity to empower yourself, taking the essential steps toward a life where your needs take center stage, fostering healthier relationships with both yourself and those around you. To effectively prioritize your own needs, the first strategy involves cultivating a heightened sense of self-awareness. Begin by regularly reflecting on your daily activities and assessing whether they align with your personal desires or stem from a sense of obligation. A useful exercise is keeping a self-reflective journal, where you document moments when you felt compelled to put someone else's needs ahead of your own. Include your thoughts, emotions, and the consequences of those choices. Over time, this practice will illuminate patterns in your behavior, helping you recognize when and why you tend to neglect your own needs. The act of writing down these experiences provides clarity and fosters a deeper understanding of the emotional triggers that lead to self-neglect. Next, adopting a different mindset is essential in redefining how you perceive self-care and prioritization. Understand that prioritizing yourself is not an act of selfishness. Rather, it is a necessary foundation for a balanced life. Psychological research emphasizes that individuals who engage in regular self-care report greater well-being and reduced stress levels. Reframe your thinking to view self-care as a crucial investment in your own health, allowing you to better serve others. Internalize the belief that by honoring your needs, you will have more energy and emotional resilience to support those around you, creating a healthier dynamic in your relationships. This fundamental shift can alter how you approach your time and energy allocation. As you begin to prioritize your needs, actionable exercises can assist you in establishing healthier boundaries. Start with the 80-20 rule. Commit to spending 80% of your time and energy on your core priorities and self-care, and allow only 20% for obligations to others. Identify your core priorities, which may include hobbies, health, or relationships that uplift you. Each week, allocate dedicated time slots for these priorities, ensuring you follow through on your commitment. For instance, if you enjoy reading or exercising, create a schedule that permits these activities without interruption. By carving out this time, you reinforce the habit of prioritizing your own needs. Real-life case studies highlight the transformation that occurs when individuals learn to prioritize themselves. Consider Angela, a project manager who frequently found herself burned out after neglecting her personal interests. After beginning a self-reflective journaling practice, she recognized the emotional toll her tendency to prioritize her work over self-care was taking on her mental health. Committing to the 80-20 rule, Angela reallocated her time to include weekly painting sessions which reignited her passion and creativity. As she engaged in self-care, her insight and productivity at work improved significantly. Angela's journey showcases that prioritizing oneself leads not only to personal fulfillment but also enhanced performance in other areas of life. Ultimately, the ability to prioritize your own needs is essential for cultivating a balanced existence. By developing self-awareness, shifting your mindset, and actively engaging in exercises that reinforce self-care, you create a foundation for lasting personal well-being. This journey is crucial, laying the groundwork for healthier relationships with both yourself and others. As we move forward into the next lesson, prepare to explore the theme of conquering fear. Specifically, how to detach from the opinions of others and build your self-confidence in the process. Reflect on your experiences as you continue to honor your own needs, and consider sharing your thoughts in the comments. Your insights can motivate others to embark on similar journeys, fostering a community of empowerment and self-discovery. Join us next time to deepen your understanding of confidence and self-worth as we navigate the landscape of personal growth together. Lesson 7. Conquering Fear. Detach from others' opinions. The most profound chains that bind us are often invisible. They manifest as the fears that govern our lives and dictate our decisions. In a world saturated with opinions, it can feel almost impossible to detach ourselves from the judgment of others. This fear of criticism and rejection often drives us to seek validation from external sources, leading to a struggle with our sense of self. To conquer this fear is to reclaim your power, allowing you to live authentically without being shackled by the need for approval. At the heart of this emotional struggle lies a deep-seated fear of being unworthy or unlovable. Many individuals internalize the belief that their value is contingent upon the perceptions and opinions of others. Psychologically, this phenomenon is often tied to attachment styles formed during childhood. For instance, if you grew up in an environment where approval was scarce or only given conditionally, it becomes natural to seek validation in adulthood as a means of ensuring acceptance. The relentless pursuit of outside affirmation fosters a cycle of self-doubt that keeps individuals tethered to the opinions surrounding them, often leading to anxiety and disengagement from one's true self. Consider the case of Rachel, a talented musician who has long dreamt of performing her own songs. Each time an opportunity arose, she hesitated, overwhelmed by the fear of criticism from her peers and audience. Rachel often found herself dwelling on the potential negative feedback rather than focusing on her passion for music. The idea of facing disapproval loomed larger than her desire to create. As a result, she continually sidelined her dreams, caught in a cycle of self-doubt reinforced by her fixation on others' opinions. Rachel's experience highlights the insidious nature of our fears, revealing how they can prevent us from pursuing our true passions. Another relatable scenario emerges in social interactions, where individuals often find themselves censoring their thoughts to fit in with the crowd. For example, John routinely suppressed his opinions during group discussions at work, fearing that anything contrary to popular sentiment would lead to isolation or rejection. Though he possessed valuable insights and ideas, his reluctance to share them kept him silent and overlooked. The fear of stepping outside the norm dulled his voice and eroded his confidence. In this manner, The relentless focus on how others might react stifled John's growth and contribution within his professional environment. The emotional consequences of seeking validation through the opinions of others can be stark. Chronic self-doubt, anxiety, and low self-esteem often accompany this struggle, creating a pervasive sense of unhappiness. When your self-worth is contingent upon external validation, you may find yourself endlessly chasing approval, leading to a lifestyle marked by discontent and frustration. Recognizing the hidden truths behind this cycle is an essential step toward liberation. Detaching from others' opinions allows you to reclaim your voice and authenticity. By confronting your fears and understanding their roots, you start the journey of breaking free from the need for validation. This lesson emphasizes that true confidence emerges when you prioritize your inner voice over the noise surrounding you. As we proceed, prepare to uncover practical strategies to conquer your fears and develop resilience against external judgment. This transformative journey will help you cultivate self-acceptance and foster the courage needed to be your authentic self openly. Take a moment to reflect on your own experiences with fear and validation. Consider how these themes resonate in your life and prepare to engage in exercises that will help guide you toward self-discovery and empowerment. Together, we will navigate your path to genuine confidence and authenticity. To effectively detach from the opinions of others and conquer the fears that bind you, the first strategy is to cultivate a habit of self-reflection. Begin by regularly assessing your emotional responses to situations where you find yourself seeking external validation. Keeping a reflective journal can aid this process. Jot down instances where you altered your behavior or opinion to align with what you thought others expected of you. Note how it made you feel in those moments. Over time, this practice will help you identify patterns of behavior driven by your fears, providing insights into how external validation influences your decisions. Understanding these triggers is crucial in developing a stronger sense of self that is less reliant on others' perceptions. Shifting your mindset is another vital component of this journey. Recognize that everyone has their own insecurities and fears, and those whose opinions you worry about may not be as discerning as you think. Psychological research reveals that people are often more focused on their own lives and struggles to scrutinize yours. Embrace the idea that your worth is intrinsic and that you are not defined by others' perceptions. Understand that your value does not depend on their approval or disapproval. This realization can significantly reduce the hold that fear has over you. You are worthy of success, happiness, and expression without the need for validation from outside sources. Engaging in specific exercises can further strengthen your confidence in detaching from the opinions of others. Start with a daily affirmation practice where you declare your self-worth and intentions aloud. Statements such as, "I am enough as I am," or "My voice matters," can reinforce a positive self-image and counteract feelings of inadequacy. Additionally, practice asserting your thoughts and opinions in low-stakes environments. For instance, in casual social settings, share your perspective on a topic of interest, regardless of whether it aligns with the majority opinion. This small act of self-advocacy reinforces your ability to express yourself authentically and lessens the fear surrounding dissent or judgment over time. Real-life case studies can effectively illustrate the impact of these practices. Take Maria, for example, a marketing professional who struggled with the fear of criticism from her peers. Initially hesitant to propose unconventional ideas during team meetings, she decided to implement reflective journaling to document her experiences and emotional triggers. Over time, Maria recognized that her fears were often unfounded, leading her to shift her mindset. As she began sharing her insights in team discussions, she was met with intrigue and respect, rather than ridicule. This realization empowered her to embrace her creativity, leading to innovative marketing strategies that distinguished her from her peers. Maria's journey demonstrates how actively challenging negative beliefs and practicing assertive communication can foster greater self-confidence and fulfillment. As we conclude this lesson, prepare to explore the next topic, the power of self-respect and how to demand what you truly deserve. The pursuit of self-acceptance and authenticity starts within, and this upcoming discussion will equip you with the tools to advocate for yourself assertively. Reflect on your experiences with fear and validation as we transition into this new area of exploration. Consider sharing your thoughts or experiences in the comments section, as your insights can uplift and encourage others on their journeys. Engaging with this content, whether by liking the video, commenting, or suggesting future topics, contributes to a community dedicated to empowerment and growth. Together, let's continue fostering genuine self-respect and confidence as we navigate this transformative path. Lesson 8. The Power of Self-Respect. Demand what you deserve. What if the key to unlocking your full potential lies in cultivating an unshakable sense of self-respect? The journey towards self-advocacy and fulfillment begins with the recognition of your intrinsic worth and the understanding that you are deserving of respect and kindness. Yet, many people find themselves entangled in a relentless pursuit of external validation, often sacrificing their own needs and desires in the process. This lesson will delve into the psychological and emotional foundations of these behaviors, offering insights on how to reclaim your power through self-respect. At the core of seeking validation from others is an unsettling belief that one's worth is dependent upon outside approval. This mindset often develops during formative years, where conditional love and acceptance teach us that our value hinges upon performance and compliance. As adults, this conditioning manifests as a constant drive to gain recognition and affirmation from peers, family, and authority figures. Emotionally, this reliance can lead to anxiety and a pervasive sense of inadequacy, as you may feel that your self-worth is perpetually at the mercy of others' opinions. The crucial realization here is that seeking validation creates a dynamic in which you are not only undervaluing yourself, but also relinquishing control over your happiness. Consider the example of Clara, a talented graphic designer who finds herself consistently disregarding her own creative vision to satisfy her clients. Although she possesses an incredible eye for design, Clara often struggles to assert her ideas, fearing rejection or negative feedback. As a result, she becomes trapped in a cycle of people-pleasing, delivering work that does not reflect her authentic creativity. The emotional toll is profound. Clara's passion for her craft diminishes as she continually sacrifices her self-respect for external approval. Her experience serves as a poignant reminder of how the lack of self-respect can stifle creativity and fulfillment. Another scenario involves relationships, where individuals may overlook their own needs to avoid conflict or disapproval. Mark, for instance, is caught in a loop of sacrificing his preferences to ensure harmony with his partner. Despite feeling unheard and unappreciated, he often agrees to plans that do not align with his interests. Each time he compromises, Mark's self-respect diminishes, creating resentment and frustration that ultimately jeopardizes the relationship's integrity. His reluctance to demand respect for his own needs illustrates the dangers of neglecting self-advocacy, leading to emotional instability and unfulfillment. By failing to demand what you deserve, you undermine your self-respect and contribute to a cycle of discontent. Recognizing this truth is the first step toward a transformative journey of self-advocacy. To build a foundation grounded in self-respect, one must learn to value their own thoughts, feelings, and needs. The act of self-respect empowers you to establish healthy boundaries in relationships and professional environments, promoting both personal growth and more authentic interactions with others. In this lesson, we will explore practical strategies to foster self-respect and reclaim your voice. Embracing the power of self-respect will enable you to demand what you deserve, fortifying your sense of self-worth and leading to more meaningful connections. Understanding that you are inherently deserving of kindness, both from yourself and others, is pivotal in this journey of self-discovery. As we progress, prepare to uncover avenues for building and asserting your self-respect in various aspects of your life, paving the way for a more fulfilling and empowered existence. To cultivate self-respect and empower yourself to demand what you truly deserve, the first strategy involves developing acute self-awareness regarding your feelings and behaviors. Begin by recognizing instances where you compromise your needs or silence your voice in favor of others. Keeping a self-reflective journal can be tremendously helpful in this process. Jot down situations that prompted you to prioritize someone else over yourself, noting your thoughts and emotions in those moments. This practice not only reveals behavioral patterns, but also uncovers the underlying beliefs that drive your need for external validation. By understanding these triggers, you can begin to identify situations where a lack of self-respect might lead you to undermine your own worth. Mindset shifts are crucial when it comes to nurturing self-respect. Start by reframing your perspective about the importance of your own needs and desires. Embrace the idea that self-respect is not synonymous with selfishness. Rather, it is a healthy foundation upon which fulfilling relationships and personal growth are built. Psychological research supports this notion, showing that individuals who establish self-respect and assertiveness report higher overall life satisfaction and improved mental well-being. Remind yourself regularly that you are worthy of kindness and respect, both from yourself and those around you. This mindset can help dispel fears of being perceived as selfish when you assert your boundaries. Engaging in actionable exercises can actively reinforce your journey toward self-respect. Begin with the practice of setting daily intentions where you affirm your worth. Each morning, take a few moments to write down or verbalize a strong affirmation reflecting your deservedness. Statements such as, "I am deserving of love and respect," or "My needs are valid," can instill confidence and set a positive tone for your day. Additionally, try the no challenge, where you deliberately say no to something small that doesn't serve your interests or desires. This could involve declining an invitation to an event you're not genuinely interested in, or allowing yourself to skip a task in favor of self-care. These small acts build muscle memory around asserting your needs and strengthen your self-respect over time. Real-life case studies illustrate the profound impact of developing self-respect. Consider the story of Tom, a project manager who regularly assumed extra responsibilities at work, often at the cost of his well-being. After journaling and engaging in self-reflective activities, Tom realized that his self-worth was tied to his ability to please his boss and colleagues. Embracing the new mindset that his needs mattered, he began asserting boundaries by communicating his limitations regarding workload. Initially hesitant, he found that his colleagues replied with understanding, and he felt relieved from the burden of overcommitment. This transformation allowed Tom to focus more on the projects that resonated with him, making him a more effective and content team member. Tom's experience highlights that honoring self-respect can improve not just individual happiness, but overall professional performance. As we conclude this lesson, prepare to transition into the next topic: strengthening emotional resilience and learning how to handle pushback with grace. This upcoming journey will provide you with strategies to navigate opposition and criticism while maintaining your self-respect. Reflect on your experiences with self-worth as you continue this path of empowerment, and consider sharing your thoughts in the comments section. Your experiences can help others embarking on similar journeys, contributing to a collaborative and supportive community. Engage with this content by liking the video, commenting your personal opinions, or suggesting topics you would like us to explore further together. Let's move forward in fostering resilience and self-respect as we embrace the next stage of this transformative journey. Lesson 9: Strengthening Emotional Resilience. Handle pushback with grace. Every interaction presents a choice: to stand confident in your truth or to bend under the pressure of external opinions. In a world where conformity often holds greater weight than authenticity, the ability to handle pushback with emotional resilience becomes essential. When faced with criticism or dissent, many individuals instinctively seek validation from others, allowing external feedback to influence their self-worth and emotional state. This lesson will explore the underlying psychological factors of this behavior and illuminate the empowering truth of resilience amidst opposition. At the root of the need for external validation lies a complex interplay of fear and insecurity. When we encounter pushback, be it from colleagues, family, or friends, doubts can creep in, questioning our choices, abilities, and even our worth. This fear often stems from childhood experiences where approval was conditional, leading to a belief that our value is contingent upon the acceptance of others. Psychologically, this can become debilitating, as the fear of rejection may cause some to retreat or silence their voices in order to avoid conflict or judgment. Such patterns perpetuate a cycle where individuals neglect their own identity and ideals, clinging instead to the whims of external opinions. Consider the experience of Sarah, a passionate educator who introduced innovative teaching methods in her classroom. While her ideas were met with enthusiasm from some students, others, including a few colleagues, criticized her approach as unorthodox. Instead of standing firm in her convictions, Sarah found herself feeling defeated and doubting her abilities. The backlash from those resistant to change influenced her self-perception, leading her to second-guess her methods. This inner turmoil illustrates how pushback can shake our confidence, prompting an unhealthy reliance on validation from others and causing many to waver in their authenticity. In another scenario, think of James, a budding entrepreneur who poured his heart into launching a new product. When he presented his idea to potential investors, he faced skepticism and harsh feedback. The emotional impact of this pushback was profound. James grappled with feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt, fearing that his vision would never come to fruition. Instead of viewing the criticism as an opportunity for growth, he allowed it to deter him from pursuing his dream. James's journey embodies a common response to opposition, viewing negative feedback as definitive proof of failure rather than as a stepping stone toward success. The emotional weight of seeking validation and grappling with pushback can lead to increased anxiety, depression, and a diminished sense of agency. When your emotional resilience is not fortified, the opinions of others can easily overshadow your sense of self, creating an environment ripe for self-doubt and uncertainty. Recognizing this cycle is crucial for empowering yourself to respond to criticism constructively, rather than allowing it to derail your confidence. The path to strengthening emotional resilience centers on cultivating a mindset that embraces your intrinsic worth, regardless of external opinions. In the face of pushback, focus on your values and beliefs, reminding yourself that your perspective has value. By learning to interpret criticism as feedback rather than rejection, you can fortify your inner resolve. As we continue through this lesson, prepare to explore actionable strategies to build your emotional resilience, transforming how you navigate criticism and opposition. By embracing this journey, you will empower yourself to face challenges with grace and unwavering confidence, unearthing your true potential beyond the confines of external validation. To develop emotional resilience and effectively handle pushback, the first strategy involves cultivating mindful awareness during moments of criticism or dissent. Begin by recognizing your immediate emotional reactions when faced with pushback. A useful exercise is to pause and take a deep breath, creating a space between the stimulus and your response. This practice encourages you to observe your feelings without judgment. Keeping an emotional journal can complement this activity. Jot down incidents of pushback you encountered, how you felt at that moment, and your initial responses. Over time, this reflective practice will help you identify patterns in your emotional responses and reactions, providing valuable insights on how to manage your feelings more effectively. Mindset shifts are also essential for strengthening your emotional resilience. Embrace the notion that criticism or differing opinions are not personal attacks, but rather opportunities for growth. Psychological research indicates that individuals who view challenges as learning experiences tend to exhibit greater resilience. Instead of interpreting pushback as a deficit in your abilities, consider it a chance to refine your ideas and learn from others' perspectives. This reframing fosters a more adaptive approach to criticism. By acknowledging that feedback can enrich your understanding and skills, you enhance your confidence to navigate opposing views without being diminished by them. Action-oriented exercises can further prepare you to confront pushback with grace. One effective method is the three-phrase response technique. When you face criticism, respond first by acknowledging the feedback, then expressing your own viewpoint, and finally, inviting further discussion. For example, if a colleague critiques your proposal, begin by saying, "I appreciate your input and understand your concerns." Then, share your perspective, such as, "I believe my approach offers unique benefits that align with our goals." Finally, Encourage a dialogue by asking, "What specific changes would you suggest to enhance the proposal?" This method fosters open communication and shows that you value the opinions of others while staying grounded in your beliefs. Real-life case studies can effectively demonstrate the power of emotional resilience in action. Consider Mia, a team leader who introduced a new project management strategy. When several team members expressed skepticism, Mia felt the initial sting of criticism. However, instead of retreating, she applied the three-phrase response technique. By acknowledging the concerns of her team, articulating her vision for the strategy, and encouraging feedback, Mia fostered a collaborative discussion that ultimately led to refinements in her approach. This interaction not only solidified her confidence, but also reinforced her leadership, demonstrating how resilient individuals can manage opposition constructively. Strengthening emotional resilience is paramount in transforming how you respond to criticism. By practicing mindful awareness, embracing growth-oriented mindsets, and utilizing effective communication techniques, you develop the necessary tools to navigate pushback without losing sight of your value or beliefs. As we transition to the next lesson, prepare to explore the importance of body language in projecting confidence and assertiveness. Understanding how your nonverbal cues influence perception will further empower you to face challenges with poise and assurance. Reflect on your own experiences with criticism and how you manage pushback. Engage with this content by sharing your thoughts or personal stories in the comments. Your insights can inspire others on their journeys to strengthen their emotional resilience. Consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more empowering content as we continue to explore the intricacies of personal growth together. Lesson 10. Body Language of Confidence. Stand tall, own the room. Have you ever noticed how some people command attention effortlessly, while others seem to fade into the background? The invisible language of body movements and posture can be a powerful reflection of confidence. Yet, for many individuals, the tendency to seek validation can distort how they carry themselves in social and professional settings, often leading to hesitancy and uncertainty. Understanding and mastering the body language of confidence is not just about projecting an image to the world. It's about reshaping your internal dialogue and affirming your value. At the psychological core of seeking validation through body language lies a connection between self-perception and external feedback. For those who have internalized the belief that their worth is contingent upon others' approval, physical presence often conveys the opposite of confidence. When individuals doubt their value, they may exhibit closed body language, crossed arms, hunched shoulders, or avoidance of eye contact, which signals insecurity. This behavior cultivates an invisible barrier, reinforcing feelings of inadequacy. Consequently, seeking validation in these moments becomes counterproductive, further entrenching negative self-talk and leading to a vicious cycle of self-doubt. Consider the scenario of Emily, a marketing associate who struggled with her self-image whenever she presented ideas in team meetings. Despite having innovative solutions, she would often fidget with her hands, avoid eye contact, and adopt a hunched posture while speaking. Emily's body language communicated uncertainty and disengagement, and as a result, her colleagues frequently overlooked her contributions. The less recognition she received, the more her confidence dwindled, causing her to seek validation through excessive over-preparation. Her experience illustrates the detrimental effect of poor body language on self-esteem and the cyclical nature of seeking approval. Another common example can be seen in Jake, a young professional who is ambitious and driven, but often succumbs to the fear of judgment in networking situations. During conversations, Jake would cross his arms, shuffle his feet, and lower his gaze, inadvertently projecting a lack of confidence. Instead of fully engaging in discussions, he found himself overly concerned about how others perceived him. This conflict led to feelings of frustration, as Jake struggled to establish connections, further intensifying his insecurity about his worthiness. His experience highlights how inadequate body language can hinder personal and professional growth. The emotional consequences of projecting uncertainty through body language can be profound. It diminishes your ability to connect authentically with others, fosters self-judgment, and limits your capacity to assert your ideas and desires. When you are not communicating your value through confident body language, you unconsciously reinforce a narrative of insecurity, creating barriers in both personal and professional relationships. Recognizing the unspoken power of body language is the first step toward transformation. To cultivate confidence, it is essential to develop an awareness of how your posture and demeanor impact not only how others perceive you, but also how you perceive yourself. In this lesson, we will explore effective strategies to enhance your body language, enabling you to stand tall and truly own the room. This journey toward embodying confidence not only elevates your external presence, but also strengthens your internal sense of self-worth, allowing you to navigate any space with assurance. As we progress, prepare to dive into the practical tools and exercises that will help you manifest the confidence that resides within you. To create a confident presence and effectively communicate your self-worth through body language, the first strategy is to develop self-awareness. Start by observing your physical demeanor in various situations. Before entering an interaction, take a moment to assess your posture and facial expressions. Do you tend to hunch your shoulders or avoid eye contact? Keeping a journal can be beneficial. Document occasions when you felt particularly confident or uncertain, noting your body language during those moments. This practice provides valuable insights into how your physical presence correlates with your internal state, helping you identify situations where you may unconsciously project insecurity. A crucial mindset shift involves reframing the way you perceive confidence and your ability to embody it. Understand that confidence is not an inherent trait, but a skill that can be developed and learned. Psychological research suggests that individuals who focus on the idea of faking it until they make it experience significant improvements in their self-confidence over time. Instead of viewing confident body language as something you must naturally possess, begin to see it as a tool at your disposal. Whenever you feel uncertain, remind yourself that your posture and demeanor can influence not only how others perceive you, but also how you perceive yourself. This understanding can shift the narrative from feeling like an imposter to recognizing that confidence is cultivated through conscious effort and practice. Taking actionable steps is essential for reinforcing confident body language. A practical exercise is the power pose technique, which involves adopting an expansive posture for a few minutes before entering challenging situations. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart and your hands on your hips, chest open, and head held high. Research conducted by social psychologist Amy Cuddy revealed that adopting confident body postures can significantly elevate feelings of self-empowerment and decrease stress levels. By incorporating this practice into your routine, you can transform your physiological state, making it easier to carry yourself confidently in any situation. Real-life case studies further illustrate the effectiveness of mindful body language. Take the example of Leo, a shy software engineer who struggled with presenting his ideas during team meetings. Acknowledging his discomfort, he began practicing self-awareness and adopted the power pose routine before each presentation. With time, he grew more cognizant of his posture, actively focusing on standing tall and maintaining eye contact with his audience. As he became more aware of his body language, Leo noticed a significant change in how his colleagues engaged with him. Instead of simply blending into the background, he was able to command attention, fostering a sense of credibility in his contributions. Leo's transformation is a powerful reminder that simply adjusting your body language can lead to newfound confidence and the respect you seek. As we conclude this lesson, prepare to move on to the next topic, mastering assertive communication to express your needs clearly and effectively. Understanding the link between body language and assertiveness will empower you to navigate conversations with confidence and clarity. Take some time to reflect on your own experiences with body language and how you can implement these strategies in your life. Engage with this content by sharing your insights or personal stories in the comments. Your contributions can inspire and support others on their journeys. If you found this lesson helpful, consider liking the video and subscribing for more empowering content as we continue to explore the intricacies of personal development together. Lesson 11. direct yet kind. Mastering assertive communication. In a world where communication styles vary widely, being able to express yourself directly, yet with kindness, is a powerful skill that fosters genuine connections while respecting your own needs. Mastering this form of communication allows you to convey your thoughts and feelings effectively without compromising your integrity or the feelings of others. However, many individuals struggle to find this balance, often tipping the scale toward either aggression or passivity when faced with the challenge of asserting themselves. Understanding the psychological and emotional roots of this behavior is crucial to cultivating a direct yet kind communication style. At the core of ineffective communication often lies a fear of conflict and rejection. Many people are conditioned from an early age to perceive assertiveness as a form of aggression, leading them to either remain silent in the face of discomfort or express themselves in ways that can come across as combative. This fear ignites a pressing need for external validation, as individuals go to great lengths to please others while suppressing their own needs. When self-worth is precariously tied to the opinions of others, people may resort to passive-aggressive behavior or overly conciliatory tones, ultimately resulting in misunderstandings or resentment. Understanding this dynamic is key to recognizing that assertive communication is not about winning an argument but fostering clarity and mutual respect. Consider the example of Sophie, who often found herself feeling overwhelmed at work due to her inability to assert her boundaries. She would agree to take on additional responsibilities to avoid backlash from her colleagues or fear of disappointing her manager. However, this pattern of behavior left her feeling stretched thin and increasingly resentful towards her work environment. Each time Sophie felt compelled to please others, she inadvertently diminished her own value. Her experience illustrates how the avoidance of direct communication can perpetuate stress and dissatisfaction, ultimately harming both her well-being and productivity. In another scenario, take the case of Ben, a project leader who often struggled to address conflicts within his team. When disagreements arose, he hesitated to bring up the issues, fearing that doing so might hurt feelings or create a hostile atmosphere. Instead, he chose to avoid conversations altogether, leading to unresolved tensions and a decline in team morale. By failing to communicate directly, Ben inadvertently allowed the problem to fester, demonstrating how avoiding assertiveness could lead to more significant issues in both personal and professional relationships. The emotional consequences of not mastering assertive communication can be profound. Individuals may experience heightened stress, anxiety, and feelings of inadequacy as they navigate the delicate dance between maintaining relationships and advocating for themselves. Recognizing that assertive communication is integral to improving relationships and personal well-being is essential. It is not only about voicing your needs, it also encompasses the ability to do so in a way that respects both your own boundaries and the feelings of others. In this lesson, we will explore strategies for developing a style of communication that is both direct and compassionate. By understanding the psychological patterns behind avoidance and fear, you can begin to dismantle barriers to assertiveness. This journey towards effective communication will empower you to express what you truly want and need while fostering a supportive environment for those around you. Prepare to uncover practical tools and insights that will enhance your ability to assert yourself with confidence and kindness, paving the way for healthier, more authentic interactions. To cultivate a style of communication that balances directness with kindness, the first strategy is to develop self-awareness regarding your existing communication patterns. Begin by observing your interactions in various settings. Do you typically avoid confrontation, or do you tend to express your thoughts in a way that may come across as abrasive? Keeping a communication journal can be beneficial. Document instances where you felt your message wasn't received as intended, and reflect on what you could have done differently. This could involve analyzing conversational cues and identifying whether your tone or phrasing may have inadvertently led to misunderstandings. Recognizing these patterns is a critical step in reformulating your communication style to be more assertive and respectful. A vital mindset shift entails redefining your understanding of assertiveness. Many individuals wrongly equate assertiveness with aggression, fearing that being direct will alienate others. Instead, embrace the idea that assertiveness is a form of self-respect and a cornerstone of healthy relationships. Psychological studies show that those who practice assertiveness are often viewed as more competent and trustworthy. When you communicate directly and kindly, you convey clarity and confidence, which invite mutual respect. Remind yourself that expressing your needs or opinions does not diminish the worth of others. Rather, it fosters an open dialogue where everyone's voice can be heard and valued. Engaging in specific exercises can further enhance your ability to communicate assertively yet kindly. One effective exercise is to practice I statements when expressing your feelings or needs. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," reframe it to, "I feel unheard when my thoughts are overlooked." This approach minimizes defensiveness and focuses on your experience, making it easier for others to understand your perspective. Additionally, role-playing assertive communication scenarios with a trusted friend or mentor can help you hone your skills. Utilize this practice to rehearse how you would respond to various situations, such as addressing a workplace conflict or navigating a difficult conversation with a loved one. These exercises create a safe space for experimentation and can significantly increase your confidence in real-world situations. Real-life case studies illustrate the power of mastering assertive communication. Consider the experience of Megan, who found herself struggling in team meetings due to her tendency to back down from asserting her viewpoints. After recognizing the impact of this behavior on her career progression and relationships with colleagues, she began implementing I statements during discussions. The first time she voiced her opinion, she felt her heart racing, but managing her body language helped convey confidence. Over time, her colleagues began to respect her contributions, and she found that assertive communication fostered a more collaborative environment. Megan's journey underscores the profound benefits of demanding respect through direct communication laced with kindness. As we conclude this lesson, prepare to explore the next topic: developing an authentic connection with your true self, allowing you to communicate from a place of inner strength and integrity. Understanding your motivations, values, and desires will further enhance your ability to express yourself with authenticity. Reflect on how you can apply the strategies discussed today in your daily interactions. Consider sharing your insights or experiences in the comments, as your thoughts may inspire others on their paths to self-awareness and growth. If you found value in this content, engaging with it through likes and subscriptions will help foster a community dedicated to personal development as we continue this transformative journey together. Lesson 12. Unshakable You. Confidence that lasts a lifetime. What if the secret to enduring confidence lies not in external validation, but in the unwavering belief in your own worth? In a world that frequently equates success with social approval, many individuals find themselves caught in a cycle of seeking affirmation from others, leading to a precarious sense of self-esteem. The journey to becoming an unshakable version of yourself begins with understanding the roots of this tendency for validation and recognizing that true confidence is built from within. At the emotional core of this struggle is the fear of inadequacy, and a deeply held belief that one's worth is dependent upon others' opinions. This condition often stems from early experiences where acceptance and approval were conditioned upon performance or compliance. As adults, this conditioning manifests as a constant quest for external accolades, whether it's praise from colleagues, likes on social media, or validation from loved ones. Each time you seek approval, you reinforce the notion that your self-worth is contingent upon external factors, creating a fragile identity susceptible to fluctuations based on others' perceptions. Psychologically, this dependency can lead to anxiety, self-doubt, and a perpetual feeling of being not enough. Real-life examples vividly illustrate how this pattern unfolds. Take Anna, a gifted writer whose identity has long been linked to the praise she receives from her readers. Although her writing demonstrates undeniable talent, Anna often finds herself paralyzed by the fear of negative reviews or lack of acceptance. Each time she shares her work, she holds her breath, waiting for affirmation as if her creative expression is a reflection of her self-worth. As a result, Anna finds herself avoiding opportunities to share her writing altogether, fearing the sting of criticism. This behavior serves as a poignant example of how reliance on validation can hinder personal expression and stifle authentic creativity. Another relatable scenario comes from David, an ambitious entrepreneur who equates his success with the opinions of his peers. As he navigates the challenging path of launching a startup, David seeks constant reassurance from industry leaders and friends. This dependency leaves him vulnerable to self-doubt whenever faced with criticism or differing viewpoints. Rather than trusting his instincts and standing firm in his vision, David finds himself second-guessing his decisions, which ultimately undermines his confidence. His struggle underscores the reality that an unshakable sense of self is compromised when it is tethered to the approval of others. Understanding the psychological and emotional roots of seeking validation is critical for cultivating lasting confidence. True confidence is an internal state rooted in self-acceptance and a recognition of your inherent worth, irrespective of external opinions. To become unshakable, it is essential to detach your self-esteem from the fluctuating tides of external feedback. This requires a deliberate shift in mindset, recognizing that while others' perspectives can provide valuable insights, they do not determine your value or capabilities. In this lesson, we will delve into actionable strategies for building an unwavering sense of confidence that transcends the need for validation. By fostering internal self-acceptance and challenging the narratives that hold you captive, you can forge a robust identity that remains resilient against external judgments. Prepare to embrace the journey of becoming unshakable, cultivating a confidence that illuminates not just your path but empowers those around you. As we move forward in this exploration, consider how you can apply these concepts in your own life and reflect on the journey toward nurturing and enduring confidence that truly lasts a lifetime. To cultivate lasting confidence and detach from the need for external validation, the first strategy involves developing a keen sense of self-awareness. Begin by actively monitoring your emotional responses in various situations. Do you find yourself seeking approval when you make decisions or share your ideas? Keeping a self-reflective journal can be an invaluable tool during this process. Document moments when you feel compelled to seek validation, noting your thoughts and feelings at that time. Reflecting on these experiences will help you identify patterns in your behavior and recognize situations that trigger a dependency on external affirmation. Developing this awareness is the first step toward transforming your perspective. Mindset shifts are integral to nurturing an unshakable sense of confidence. Recognize that your worth is inherent and does not hinge on the approval of others. This realization can be profound. Self-esteem founded on external validation is susceptible to fluctuations based on others' opinions. Psychological research underscores the long-term benefits of developing a strong internal compass of self-worth. When you begin to view your intrinsic value as independent of external feedback, you create a resilient foundation for confidence. Remind yourself daily that you are worthy of success and fulfillment, irrespective of external validation. Practice self-compassion, acknowledging that everyone faces challenges and doubts, but still possesses unique strengths. Actionable exercises can further reinforce your development of self-acceptance and inner confidence. One practical technique is the daily appreciation list. Each morning, take a few moments to write down 3 attributes or accomplishments that you appreciate about yourself. These can be simple acknowledgments, such as, "I handled that tough conversation with grace," or "I completed all my tasks yesterday." Over time, this exercise helps solidify a positive self-image and shifts your focus away from seeking validation from others, fostering a nurturing internal dialogue. Another effective exercise is the affirmation challenge. Choose a few personal affirmations that resonate with you, such as, "I am enough," "My voice matters," or "I trust my instincts." Recite these affirmations aloud each day, particularly in front of a mirror. This practice can feel awkward at first, but it fosters a deep connection between your words and perceptions, bolstering your self-worth. By consistently affirming your value, you gradually internalize these beliefs, decreasing the need for external validation. Real-life case studies exemplify the transformative power of self-acceptance. Consider the story of Michael, a manager who continually sought validation from his superiors and colleagues. Over time, he recognized that this dependence diminished his confidence and stifled his leadership potential. After implementing daily journaling and affirmations, Michael began to acknowledge his unique contributions and the value of his experiences. Gradually, he noticed a shift in his assertiveness. He started to share his insights during meetings without seeking a consensus for validation. His journey illustrates that when self-acceptance replaces the reliance on external approval, individuals can express their authentic selves with conviction. As you progress on this path of becoming unshakable, remember that confidence is an evolving practice that requires commitment and self-reflection. By developing self-awareness, nurturing a new mindset, and engaging in practical exercises, you can cultivate a lasting sense of confidence that transcends the need for external validation. These tools empower you to stand firmly in your worth and foster authentic connections with yourself and others as you fully embrace your potential. As we conclude this journey through assertive confidence, overcome people-pleasing, and honor your needs, we've explored the essential components of building a resilient and authentic self. From understanding the psychological roots of seeking validation to mastering the art of assertive communication, each lesson has equipped you with practical strategies and insights to foster self-respect and confidence. You'll now recognize the importance of prioritizing your own needs, confronting fear, and asserting your voice with kindness and clarity. By embracing these principles, you empower yourself to cultivate relationships that are built on mutual respect and authenticity. Remember, true confidence stems from within, and it is this unshakable belief in yourself that will guide you through any challenge. Thank you for taking the time to engage with this material. Your commitment to personal growth is commendable. If you found value in this content, please consider liking this video, leaving your thoughts or experiences in the comments, and subscribing to our channel for more empowering insights. Together, we can continue to foster a community dedicated to self-discovery and confidence. Embrace the principles you've learned and step confidently into the world as your true self.